How you doing, everybody? Hi, John and Dominic. How you guys doing? Excuse me. Hi, Rel and Big Sal. Is the sound in the video okay? Excuse me. Hi, Gian. Hater, good to see you. Good. Graham, hi, Graham. It's afternoon there. Oh, good. I'm glad everything's going. Hey, Clyde. Oh, um, hi, Tim. Essence. Oh, yeah, Rancher, I agree. You know what? Let me say this. I was looking at my FP Journe Konometsu vein, and I was looking at it, and I was looking at from those pictures we had. I tell you, I I don't see. I mean, you could pick up a Caribou and Lana and any watch, and ours would compare well. I think we'll see. It's something to get excited about. Okay. Hi, Wheels and Watches. At least, yeah. I need every day better beat or under 20,000. Don't we all? Hi, Tuna. Okay. Take a look at my note to you, Rancher, on WhatsApp. Hey, football fan. Okay, guys. Let me tell you what sort of prompted me to talk about this sort of topic about not all watch collectors are the same. Um, I the other day I was somebody had made a comment and was seemed to be upset about the whole material that I had on essence of equation of time, and the I didn't quite understand, what he was sort of grumbling about, but he said, "Well, this stuff is really complex, and that's not what he got into watch collection for." And I was thinking that, okay, it doesn't have to be. I mean, like, if you don't wanna deal with certain kinds of complexities, that you don't have to. I mean, for God's sakes, it's a hobby. It's not a job. It's a hobby. I mean, some guys they like to flip watches, they like to argue about different nuances and resale values of Rolexes. There are all kinds of things that people like to do. But this, I mean, to be upset because somebody didn't, doesn't have the same way of looking at watch collection as you have, I thought, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Like, um, it's sort of like taking a course in calculus. I want to take a calculus course. They got this great calculus course that MIT has. I want to take, but I have to go over my advanced algebra before I get into it. But there was another one like that, and the person was really complaining about it, saying, "You don't have to take the course. You can take something else." And I think, well, the same thing with watch collection. They don't have People don't have to be collecting all the time. Hi, Neff. Hi, Kent. Jonathan, good morning. HF. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to get some ideas, and here's some ones I came up with, and I'd sort of be interested in what you guys think too. In fact, I'd be very interested. I'm always more interested in what you think than what I think, because I already know what I think, and that's that. Hi, Vizal, and hey, Brian. Anyway, so these are some that I came up with. I mentioned one brand. Some people like to collect one brand and go on about that. Um, so that's sort of that's fine. I mean, I if I could afford certain one brands, I probably would. I'd collect nothing but FP Journes or Gerbel Force or Gronfil. I can't afford that though. But I don't think it would be as much fun to me. But some people it is. Because they know a lot about the watch, they know the history of it, and they know all kinds of stuff, and they enjoy that. Okay, let's see what you got here. Yeah, yeah. There are things. I mean, I what I do and what we do, either as a group or as individuals and watches, is we can figure out what we want and knock ourselves out. But if somebody else, there are two things about this I think that are important. First of all, if you have a variety of ways that people collect watches, you can learn something from them. I mean, if we do everything the same, we can't. I mean, I don't think be as interesting. But some people get so upset that if you do something differently than they do, I mean, and it's in all walks of life, everywhere. I once, of all things, was making an apple pie, and I like the peels on my apple, so I was cutting up this apple, and there was this woman who got very upset with me. So you can't leave the peels on the apple. Was like, well, yes, I can. They and it's sort of like, but she was so upset by that, and I thought, well, my God, I mean, what does it matter to her? And so there are all kinds of things like that. That I mean, it's not just watch collection. People say, well, there's just you've got to do it this way. Not me. Uh, yeah, Dom, yeah. We can spend our money any way we want to, or not, or do it's just all kinds of things that I. And again, there are different kinds of Rolex uh, collectors, I guess, and some of them are very upset that haven't gotten a Rolex. It's like, why? I mean, why be upset about it? It's if if I see a Rolex that I like someday, I'll get it. But in the meantime, they're just not as interesting to me as other watches. No, I don't dislike them, but it just it's like, but that really upsets some people. So anyway, so for you, one brand. If I had one brand to collect, I don't know. I don't know what one it would be because I don't think it'd be as interesting as going around looking at a lot of different brands. But that's me. Some people, they want to know everything about it and really deep dive into it, and that's fine too. Um, yeah, Dominic, is that a Freudian slip? uh, okay. Us versus them mentality. Yeah, essence. I mean, what what's wrong with that? There was a guy. I think it was in an Amazon review, and this guy said, "Well, I'm sort of a watch nerd." He described himself as a watch nerd, and he said that 4 hertz is great. He says, "I know," because I'm thinking, well, not what I would say, but that's sort of his sort of path, I guess, on that. Tim, I have 2 Rolexes. They are tanks, but not necessarily. I mean, I'll tell you about a tank. I have an Easy Diver, and you talk about a tank. Both my Easy Diver and the type of Roger Dubuis sympathy I have is also a tank. But you wear them and you like them. I mean, there's uh I don't know. I get not to pick on Rolex either, because there are other people who are the opposite. They hate Rolexes. Say, "Well, I hate Rolexes." You should hate them too. What? What? That's sort of crazy. But some people are that way. I only collect watches I like, Brian. I agree. I Why would you collect a watch you wouldn't like? And I like watches for different reasons. I like uh my 736 movement watches for totally different reasons. And then I like my Vacheron Constantin. They're just they're you can like watches for different reasons. And it doesn't matter. You can make them up. You can make up any reason you want to. It's sort of, I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Okay, let's see what Graham's got. See, I like to buy a watch that is pleasing to my eyes. Secondly, the movement. If it does not look good to me, then I won't wear it. And if yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, there are watches whose I guess you might say is an acquired taste in terms of the looks. I'm sure that this one is an acquired taste. Some people go nuts because the crown is over here and everything is sort of cockeyed on it, and it's just like that would drive them crazy. So I don't get it. That's uh hey, watch monkey. Good morning. Um, let's see. Ooh, football fan. Yes, what a watch. You got a once ooh, that's a nice watch. Glad you got it. Don't listen to me on everything. Richard, see, Buenas tardes from Spain. Yeah. you you learn from you, and these stupid boogers don't have to watch if it's going to fly over their heads. No, you know, there's something about I don't know. I mean, it's like, well, I didn't come here to watch a lecture on how the sun and the moon work. I want to talk about watches. There's, there is a relationship. Uh, so what is your collecting philosophy? I know you put a premium on movement. Yeah, yeah, to me, I do put a premium on movement. I mean, I can slap a cheap movement. I can get one, put a watch together for $100, and a lot of them will look like a, pretty good watch. But, yeah, the movement's important. Sometimes the cheap Chinese movements that I bought were really good. So who knows? Um, I choose my watches like I used to pick women before I got married by the looks. I will no comment. just just gonna drive right by that one, Dominic. What's your next watch? Monday. I'll show you my next watch. I'm gonna have an unboxing on Monday. So that's what it'll be. So I'm gonna have to wait until then. Now I have sort of in a longer range next watch. I got a amazing watch. Super amazing. I'm not kidding. It's like it's our project watch, and it's has turned out to be just coming along to be fabulous. Pretty soon, I'm gonna have we'll have that available. Yeah, that watch is really a cool watch. By the way, too, the thing I like about that watch, there's a really interesting history between Jean-Marc Viderec and Harry Winston. And some of the things, and I can't say more than this, and don't ask me, but I will sort of say it. There's a lot of things in that by retrograde, the Harry Winston you got, that Paddock Philippe wanted in the worst way. I'll say that and no more. So you got a really great watch. Apple Ultra watch is a new watch. It's really funny. I don't have an Apple Watch, and I probably will never get one. But boy, I tell you, I'm getting an updated iPhone. I got iPhone 10 and iPhone 4 came out with a lot better camera and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I got to get my upgraded one. By the way, what is it called? There was a movie I watched on Netscape about a guy who bought a phone and it upgraded. It was this bossy phone was called Lexi, I think is the name of it. I'm not positive, but it was sort of funny movie. This snotty it was sort of like Alexis or like what's her name? Siri on those phones. Hey, Fat Angus, I collect 7,001 movements the way you collect 730 sections. Interesting to see how different brands evolve. That is a great one. I mean, that's a really an interesting movement. The Pazoo 7,001. Yeah, those things are fun. You find one you like, and it doesn't matter why. One of the early watches I got, it came. It wasn't supposed to. It came with a 7,001, and I thought it had a in-house movement. I got all upset about it, but that thing worked great. Um, there's some movements that I, I I like. If I know what movement is, I'm fine with it. I still get mad at watch companies that don't tell you what movement you have. Ah, hey Hong, how you doing, man? Yeah. Oh, forward to Monday. Okay, that'll be. Yeah, I am too. I'm trying to. Um, I got a watch that's. You'll see it. I say it about it has. It's a first for me in a lot of different ways. So that'll be fun. Just picked up a Xeno Explorer. Ha. I don't know. What is a Xeno Explorer? Canada. Take your troublemaker. I have a weakness for sports watches like Rolex and Omega, but also a nav timer, a Chopard dress watch. A mix of looks, budget, heritage, and nice movement. Yeah, Taker. That's the kind of thing. It's like there's people get bossy about about all kinds of watches. There are a lot of watches that other people collect that I don't like for one reason or the other, and I'm sure I have some they don't like. I love my Robinette Blue Parmigiani Fleurier Calpa X Grande, and I just love that watch. And a lot of people say, "Oh, it's a terrible watch," and I don't know why they don't like it because it doesn't look like every other watch. Xenophobe, you got to watch out. Don't tell anyone I have a bunch of chronographs. I wouldn't admit that either. People think you're a savage, Dominic. Oh, hi. Let's see. I am doing fine. Long time, no joy in your good chat. Too busy with the work schedule. I, that's understandable. Still developing my personal philosophy of collecting, saving for various family priorities before I can justify luxury. That's a good point too. I've got um last year a couple years ago we had to put in a new kitchen, and boy, I tell you that so I had to sort of back off of watches. And last year we put in a new driveway. We got this big stupid driveway that's got a horseshoe in it and all this other stuff. And so it was sort of wasn't a good time to get watches. So some of the times, I still like contingency. I call it myself in a way. Maybe I'm a contingency collector. Something comes up and you're looking at one thing and something else, you can't get it, so something else comes up and you get the contingency, and it's so much better. This happened to me with my Harry Winston. There was this guy and this is not a reflection on the Dutch, but this particular Dutch guy, he had a Harry Winston by retrograde in white gold. And so we, went back and forth on it, and finally we agreed on a price. And so I said, "Fine, I'll." I think I was going to. I forgot. I think it was Chrono 24, but I'm not sure. I was talking to this guy a lot. So he says, "Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get a courier, come by my office, pick it up, have the courier take it down to FedEx and send it to you." I said, "You're nuts. I'm not doing that." And I was so upset with the guy. And I turned around and there was another one much better. I mean, a much better version of the same watch, except it was in red gold. And I tell you, I still have it and I love it. But, that's a contingency. Something came up and boom. The same thing happened with my Urban Jurgensen. I was tried to get this, what was, I think it was a Daniel Roth Papillon, and I was closing a deal on it, and Chrono 24 jacked up things right over what I put on my credit card limit, so I couldn't get it. I mean, now I'm talking about $20 or something like that, and that screwed the deal up. Somebody swooped in and got it, and that was, the end of the story. But then I turned around and there was this wonderful Urban Jurgensen at this great sale price, which I picked up. So, in terms of collecting, I've got certain kinds of things that I know I want, but other types of things you simply get. It's like, sort of the bluebird of happiness lands on your shoulder, and you say, I'm for it. If a collector has actually taken the time to sit down and figure out what their philosophy actually is, they're ahead of most. Yeah, I agree. Mine keeps changing. Also, being careful to be a collector and not a hoarder. Yeah, yeah, that's. I, I just, I ran out of cases. I used to have a case for six watches. And this guy contacts me. He says, "I'm downsizing." He said, I'll trade you your 6 watch case for my 10 watch case." So I did. I sent the guy the case and he sent me his. So I had a 10 box case. And then it got filled up. And I thought, well, I'll get another one. And, just for the overflow. Well, the overflow became it filled up. So I don't know. Maybe I become a hoarder. The ones that I don't use and I want to get rid of, I like so much that I don't want to get rid of them. But I agree, you shouldn't be a hoarder for anything. Okay, let's see. Hey, Gilberto, how you doing, man? Troublemaker, Parmigiani Culpa is a nice watch, so don't listen to the hater. I don't listen to anybody. If I like a watch, I'll get it. Um, I mean, if something has some people, there's one guy who told me a certain brand of watch had nothing but problems with the movement, and I sort of have shied away from that. But otherwise, um, I usually know enough about the movement and the entire. I mean, especially with Parmigiani, I know the whole vertical organization of this Sandoz Family Foundation, and find out that the watch I have right now that is also related to that. No, you're right, troublemaker. You don't listen. I don't listen. I mean, you listen to. I do listen to people. I mean, somebody says, "Wow, you got to take a look at this," and I take a look at this, and wow, that's really neat. I'm glad you told me about it. Other ones, if I got this, and you got to get one of these. I don't know. Okay, essence. Okay, I like to collect a bit of everything, but needs to be my lifestyle. I have a physical limit 10-piece watch box. That was mine too. Gilberto, you're a better man than I am. kept finding ones I couldn't. I thought, oh, gee, I really want that watch. One thing I found out, selling a watch at auction was so great. It really worked out great. Hey, one thing I did want to say, we talked about shipping, and I'll tell you a little shipping story I had recently. I got this shipping. It was being shipped by FedEx. I said, "Oh man, please don't ship it by FedEx. Use DHL uh, or UPS." And no, 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 we have a deal with them, so they're going to ship it. So I'm watching the shipment, and it goes to this one airport, and then there was some kind of holdup. What? Then it goes to another airport, and there was another holdup. I thought, God, I told them not to ship it that way. And it was supposed to arrive. I mean, originally I said, okay, you're going to get it on Thursday. And so then all of a sudden, Wednesday pops up at my front door. No signature, no nothing. It was there. And the next thing I know, my wife brought it in because my name was on it and put it on my chair. And that was that. I mean, it couldn't have been better. And yesterday I got a letter from FedEx saying, and I thought, oh, this is the customs, and they want me to pay customs. No, not a problem. But what happened was that they said, you don't owe anything. I thought, wow, this is weird. It's funny. I do prefer DHL though, and the reason for it is that with DHL they got this automatic thing that pops up and says, okay, you owe customs so much, and bam, you pay it, and boom, it comes right to you. That I like a lot. I think UPS is equally simple that way, and I hope that FedEx does something because man, I tell you that was one of the best deliveries I've ever had. It comes from overseas, and the next thing I know, it's on my doorstep. After saying all those things I did about FedEx, which were true. Oh, let's see. Hey, John, surprised to see Boucheron watch. A bit like high jewelry watchmaker Hermes, Chanel, and Chaumet. Um, Man must be the captain of his own ship. That's right. Well, I'm sort of second mate. The captain is, who. Let's see. Xeno Explorer is a Rolex homage using 6704. Half the time the story ends with, and that is how I got divorced. Yeah, that was why my fourth wife left me. It was either her or this really great kid. Hey, kid, I have a I have had great luck with FedEx. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I I have great luck with FedEx, but I haven't had the greatest luck with FedEx coming from overseas. In fact, I'll tell you, I got to know the people in the watch division at FedEx because I felt that soon as it came overseas from overseas, there was a holdup, and it says exception. I hate it when it says exception because I know what that means. And so I just say, give them what they want, or have me pay them, make it easy for me to pay them, and it just keep the thing going. But I don't know. I mean, to send you a letter afterwards saying, I don't. I thank God I didn't know anything on it, and I don't, and I have no idea why. I did tell. I'll tell you one thing. I did tell the seller. I said, look, put most of the money they have on the form, the watch form. I said, put the majority of the money on the movement. I said, like 90% of the price. If it's $5,000, 4,500 is a movement, and $500 a case, and that'll work out a lot better. And it did. They did that for me, so I ended up with a without anything on that. I don't. Nobody likes paying. Well, I mean, the U.S. Well, I got to tell you, the U.S. we got it pretty well because something like a 1.5%. There's almost nothing on watches. Guys in England and Europe, they get whacked with a 20% VAT. That's no fun. But the important thing for me is to make it simple and smooth, and that's what the only problem I have with FedEx, not anything else with them. Okay, hi hater. Got something for the collection in the mail yesterday. Not a watch, but a great book, A General History of Horology. Oh, good. Oxford University Press, recommended for deep knowledge divers. There you go. Tell you what, would you read it to me? Make it a bedtime story. Hey, Jonathan, I got into watches for the dials and being able to look at movements. And now with your channel, I'm learning about different types of movements and complication. Well, that's because I don't have anything else to I got nothing else to do. That's a great thing about retirement. You can play in different things. Hey, Brian, the Parmigiani Grande. Yeah, I love that deal. Oh, you just got one. Oh, you got the Hebdo Damari. That is Rancher has one of those, and he'll tell you that is one of the best watches around. I mean, it's got just this super movement in it. 8 days. That's a great watch, Brian. Oh yeah, he did mention that, didn't he? Hey, Fat Angus. I bet HW would finish the heck out of a 7001. Funny how you can get a simple manual movement in a watch. Fat Angus, I'll tell you who did that was oh, what is it? Oh, Leroy, Leroy, spelled Leroy. Leroy. It used to be El Leroy, but now it's just Leroy, owned by Sopron. They go back from 1900 to 1989. They had the most complicated watch ever, El Leroy. But my El Leroy, when I got an El Leroy, it had a 7001 in it and was described as an ETA 7001. And but I'd called El Leroy and I said, what kind of movement? And they lied to me about it. Well, they didn't lie. They did better than that. Yeah, we don't know. This here you guys in Switzerland said, listen, I just bought one of your watches. Could you tell me about the base movement? No, we don't know what it is. Boy. Mm-mm. No, I don't. This is the thing, troublemaker. Let me tell you something. I don't want to make money with watches. The reason for it is it then becomes a business. I done that with too many other things that I've done. I start off just, being fat and happy, playing with stuff, and ends up into a business and it's not as fun anymore. So I'm gonna no business for me on watches. Hater, I think Nomos uses the seventh. Yeah, yeah. What they did, in fact, I think what they call the Alpha is sort of their version of the 7001 Hater. At one time, Hebdo was literally the best bargain in horology, at least until Larry came along. Armand Strom is on it. Armand Strom. That's a nice watch. Yeah, Armand Strom is one of those things that is really nice. Well, I'm out of time. My time is up, and the jig is up. Now, this afternoon, what I want to talk about are different kinds of watch videos. I saw this watch video the other day, and I'd never seen it before. It was like what? And well, I'll tell you about it. But I thought, there are a lot of different watch videos, and a lot of these ones, well, a lot of them I like, and are very useful to me. Other ones, I just thought, what do people get out of this? But like I said, this is why they're different kind of watch collectors. Also, they're different kinds of videos. and and a comment that I got, I'll tell you about that because the comment I got was really funny. It basically said, "I like yours because you don't have a personality." Oh, thanks. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming. Stay safe. That stupid COVID's still out there. And if you got some time this afternoon, drop on by.